as you may know, I have been lending for a time or two. I'm not throwing the years out there now. I'm going to stop. Yeah, stop. But those of you that work with us, or maybe you're new to us, know that the real magic behind the Kelly Zitlow Group is the group. It's not me. And I have been so fortunate to surround myself with amazing talent. And one of those people that you've probably spoken to, and if you haven't, you're missing out, so you definitely want to talk to this girl, is Tara Bradley.
Thanks
so
for
Tara,
having me.
let's see. You came to work for me in
2007.
Oh my gosh.
Dating myself now too.
So we've been together for a while, and one of the real great things about having a team is everybody's got their own like superpower. And Tara's she's very good with reading the contract, strategy with our clients, and locking and timing the market and all that fun stuff. So today I asked Tara to come on video, and I know you're super excited about being on video.
Love it.
Yeah, anyway. Just to share her top 5 tips for real estate agents, just on things that you're kind of noticing in today's market. So let's start with tip number 1. What do they need to know?
Tip number 1, personal property. Let's keep it out of the contract. So swing sets, patio furniture, beds. You guys can totally negotiate that with the sellers. Just do it with a separate bill of sale outside the purchase contract. Because if we see it, we're going to ask you to kick it out.
Yeah, which means an addendum and yada, yada, yada. So just don't put it in the contract out of the gate. Tip number 2.
Don't send us the Benzer.
Lenders do not need the Benzer. Not here in Arizona, at least. Maybe some other parts of the world, but not in Arizona. We don't need it.
Right.
And what about this? A lot of times, an agent will send us the Benzer because something was negotiated in it. So how do they solve for that if we're not going to get the Benzer?
An addendum.
All right, just prepare an addendum.
Yep. Just say seller to contribute X dollars towards prepaids and closing costs. Don't use the word repair. Nothing. Simple.
Less is more.
Less is more.
Okay. Tip number 3.
Number 3, appraisal contingency shortfall. If you're writing that into the contract, call us first, call the lender first. Be sure that the buyer is squared away with what you're offering. Do they have enough funds to close? If that should happen, does the buyer understand what they're offering?
Yeah, because I think in these conversations, what we hear a lot from the real estate agent is, yep, talk to the buyer, they're good to go. But then we talk to the buyer and they're like freaked out.
Yeah.
So we just want to be sure that we're really having that conversation and we're really available. So we want to be able to jump in. We can even do a 3-way call.
Absolutely.
And really just kind of walk through, okay, great. Based on this scenario, here's the estimated funds to close, worst case, best case, all that fun stuff.
Yep.
Tip number 4.
Post-occupancy agreements. So seller wants to stay in the property post-closing. If the buyer is going to occupy that home, they must occupy it within 60 days. So your post-closing, post-occupancy agreement cannot exceed 60 days.
I like to say 59 and give us a day.
Good idea.
Right? Because the deed of trust does require on a primary residence, meaning that the buyer's purchasing this house to live in as their primary residence, they have to be able to occupy within 60 days.
Yep.
Which means the seller can stay there 59 and a half days.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. All right, tip number 5.
First payment as it relates to closing date. So if you close at the end of June, that buyer's first payment is going to be August 1st. If your buyer wants to push the payment out, maybe they have a lease that's expiring at the end of August, they don't want to make a payment until September, you're going to set the closing in the next month, so in July.
Yeah, and I think this gets a little confusing for agents, so just call us because, let's say they're closing on the 1st of August.
Right.
Well, now the buyer has a choice, right?
Yep.
They can do a credit back, and then their first payment is September,
right.
Or they're going to go to closing with more money because now we're going to we're going to collect 30 days of interest for the month of August, right? So it's not one of those like easy types of things. Call us. That's why we're here.
Yep, absolutely.
Tara, thank you so much for coming and sharing your light. Trust me. If you know Tara, she's amazing. I'm so grateful for you.
I'm grateful for you.
I appreciate you. Thanks for doing video with me.
You bet.
See you next time.